What I'm really excited about is for Will to start implementing a program and a culture. He'll talk to you guys a little later today, but I'm just really excited for the journey. We have a bunch of new players that I think you'll all really enjoy getting to know. Um, the culture and the program as we kind of start this new era. Um, just you got to go with it and see day by day and watch them build brick by brick. And however, we can support them and continue to get the program in the right direction.
Along those lines, just given the roster turnover that you've had, how do you kind of go about building that culture? What are you looking for the Jazz DNA, as you guys called it before, to continue to come through in this new era?
Sure, I think at first it starts with hard work and discipline. Um, I think it's a clean slate for every player here, with a new coaching staff, so that every day they come in here, they get to determine, what this place looks like, feels like, the people in that gym, whether it be support staff, health performance, coaches, players, front office. We're all trying to row the boat in the same direction. And I'm just really excited for those guys. It's almost like the first day of school again. Got the rookies with backpacks and getting their pictures taken, and really excited to get started with practice tomorrow.
What's the buy-in from Mike and Jordan and some of the guys who were back from last
Those are the guys that you guys obviously have gotten to know very well over the last few years. Their character, um, their leadership, it's the same. They're Utah Jazzmen, and they love being here, and we're excited to have them and help them lead this now younger group. Teach them about what it means to be a Utah Jazz man, what it means to represent this city, this state, and the organization. And there's been nothing but total buy-in from those guys.
With the player acquisitions from the during the offseason, were there any specific things that these specific players provided that you looked at in terms of commonalities in terms of like characteristics, skills, etc.?
I think as Danny mentioned last week, good players is what we're looking for. Um, but I think a group of these guys that need some opportunity and a new opportunity to grow and be in a new system. Also, opportunity for guys to take another step, but they're all in a range relatively early in their careers, outside of the veterans, that have a chance to grow with us together.
What do you expect from some of the ultra younger guys, Ochai, Bobby, Walker Kessler, guys who are not only in their first year of this particular program, but in their first years in the league?
So, Tony, you've been around a while, so rookies, their first year, just learning everything's new. It takes some adjustment. New coaching staff, new way of playing. The NBA is completely different than college. What I do know about those two is they worked extremely hard this summer, and then they're going to get some experience and reps, and I think they'll be able to build from that, and the coaches will help get them better. As far as expectations, I don't want to set any for, we're going to all do this together and see what happens.
Do you have any takeaways from watching those games?
Yeah, I think, one is really, really good participation. The energy in the gym is palpable. The guys like playing with each other. They get along very, very easily. It's competitive. So I think that energy will translate into training camp, and Will and his staff will be able to harness that, and it'll be a good start.
How does it compare from the last couple of years? Teams obviously the ceiling's not as high for this roster, but you talk about the energy being high. How does that compare from the last couple of years?
I think everything's new. So rather than everything being much more familiar, like the people that are in the gym, the people that you're playing with, that you're training with, working out against, it's all kind of new, and they're all excited to kind of experience have these first time experiences together, which I've been very pleased with.
What do you
no surprises. He's a man of high character, knows what he wants. Um, he's he's focused on the Utah Jazz as a whole. He's not focused on being, oh, this is my first year as a head coach. He's focused on how can he help this program achieve what we all want to achieve, which is to contend for a championship. So everything has been about the group. What's best for the group? What's best for the organization? What's best for the team? Not what's best for him. He's been amazingly consistent in that, something that we all felt was a huge part of his interview process and who he is as a person. So I've had a great time coming into work every day and working with him to get everything set for his first day of training camp tomorrow.
What are some of the ways you've seen him kind of start to set that tone and that culture from now building up to whatever this can become down the road?
So when I describe him as selfless, I think that it doesn't only mean that you're not about yourself, but that you're giving of your time. So both in group settings and individual, he's spent an inordinate amount of time of getting to know every single person in that building, everybody that's going to help him build a program, and starting that with personal relationships, getting to know who these people are and what they do and how he can support them. And that includes the players, lots of one-on-ones, lots of dinners, lots of just small interactions to know who you're working with before you start the work, which starts tomorrow.
I don't know if you talked to me specifically about Taylor Horton's record since that trade was. Can you tell us about Taylor?
So Talon's excited to have Talon. He's been here during the OTA period to come in and play and work out. So just another young guy that, obviously we have a lot of experience at some guard positions and some young guys behind them too. As coach has said, I don't want to speak for him, but it's kind of a clean slate for everyone. Some of the guys that have come in that have had 2 or 3 years of experience at other teams, this is a new situation, a new chance to, maybe do some things that you weren't able to do before, or that you've grown and learned from those experiences that you can apply. And that's what training camp's for. So that clean slate, as Will has said, the players are going to tell us who to play. And so I really appreciate them being ready. I expect them to be ready for training camp. And I think the OTA period that open gym periods really help them get used to being here.
I know you can't comment on the trade or one of the trades, but can you kind of elucidate the philosophy that will kind of guide your moves this season and the way that you're looking at this season?
Yeah. I think it's pretty simple, is that you want to give the program a chance to grow. And what you do by you doing that is you learn how to win. So the players that are on the roster, I think there's some assumptions out there of something that is like our veterans, they're here, they're in shape, they're ready to play, they're going to play. We're going to try and win every single game from jump. So any other projections about the season, like it's a new experience. Like I said, we're going to grow together, and we'll see where that journey takes us. But I'm really excited to see these young guys grow, have our veterans mentor them, and really feel the competitive, hungry, hardworking team.
I know to some degree this is Will's decision, but how do you weigh playing those veterans and giving them the playing time that they've earned in their careers versus the young guys and their playing time and developing those?
Yeah, I mean, look, you guys know how long these seasons can be. So what happens in game 1 versus game 15, there's going to be multiple opportunities, and guys need to go and earn those opportunities. So I think veterans will teach those guys how to do that, and there'll be opportunities for these younger guys to take advantage of those opportunities and do well. But it's on them. As coach said, he's like, the players will tell me who to play.
Will the players also tell you who to keep around given the math problem that you have? I mean, it is kind of unusual to have this many guaranteed contracts coming in.
Sure. So that's the other part about training camp. It's, when I say it's a clean slate, these guys all have opportunities. Obviously, we do have some decisions to make, given NBA rules, whatever it is, October 15th, October 16th. So I expect a very competitive camp.
through the season? What do you say? Like, there's more to come. This is not really over. The 2021 the regular season starts. So I just compared to other off seasons in your career with the magnitude of the news that you had to do and the quarantine and stuff. What was this off season like as a front office?
Danny and I spoke about this about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I don't want to speak for him, but even his long, absolutely Hall of Fame distinguished career, this is the craziest and longest off season he's ever had, and certainly is for me. So if I had to describe it in one word, I would call it never ending off season. Look, I think it's one. Is it one or two? Never ending?
Hyphenated.
Hyphen.
Yeah.
There you go. I think, look, it's part of our jobs in the front office and facing, to help the organization. I don't try to speculate on whether there's going to be more moves or less moves. Like, you do what you need to do for the betterment of the organization, and sometimes that means, making big trades like we did this offseason because we needed to pivot and start a new era here. And some of those is not making any moves because you want to give time for people to grow and learn and the stability of it. And I've experienced both of those in my career. So, I hate to keep referring back to one quote, but I'm really excited every day to come in and see what type of team this is and that we grow. And then based on what we need, what we want, what we're trying to grow for the future, then obviously you've seen it's an organization that's not afraid to make change.
You look at this roster, it seems like you just have to the rotation guys and then the other segments for your business partners. Do you look at rosters and segments?
I don't know if I'd call it segments. I kind of look at it just, look, you're trying to support coach in what their philosophy is and what it takes to go win a game. Obviously there's lots of different coaches out there that have had great success. I think for Will, again, the players are going to determine who plays, and he's very competitive. We're going to have a very competitive and hardworking group. So whoever that group of players, once we break training camp or the preseason, that he feels is going to give us the best chance to win, then that's what he'll do. I can't ever say that won't change. So maybe that's what you're referring to, that there's a lot more, let's just say, competition on the roster this year at varying levels. So we'll see how that plays out, and that could continue to evolve during the season. The last 2 or 3 years have been really challenging with COVID, and the reduced travel parties and reduced scheduling with the Stars. So the Stars are a big part of what we do here, and it's a huge part of our development program. Will's a big believer in it, has had his hands all over the staff as well. The Star staff will be in camp and continue to help and develop our guys. So I think there's some great targeted opportunities for players to get reps for our 2 ways to go back and forth. And it's just a huge asset, the fact that it's here in Salt Lake City as well.
Summer's been great. Last 2 months has been a whirlwind in some ways, but has been really exciting to start to get to know the team, the city, get my family moved out here. It's been awesome. I feel far more settled now than I did 2 months ago. Ready to get to work. Right.
What's that been like for you, knowing that this is kind of a totally different roster for you?
Yeah, it's exciting. Our staff is ready to go tomorrow. I think now we know who we have, and this is the 49th team in Jazz history, and that's our focus, Team 49. So we've been meeting a ton as a staff to get ready for practice tomorrow and get ready for training camp. I would say we're all really, really excited about this group and ready to get to work with them.
What are your impressions of you guys just in your
They're really excited. They're a really energetic group. I would say there's a collective toughness. We have a lot of guys that have a chip on their shoulder, and I think that's really powerful to have guys that are competitive and feel like they have something to prove.
Along those lines, just given that there's so many guys who haven't played together before, that it's a relatively young team, how do you, as coach, go about trying to develop a culture and identity out of that?
I think first we need to practice hard. They need to work and train hard together. I think that helps to build some camaraderie. I think secondly, structuring how we play and helping them understand that this is a team and that not one of them can try to shoulder the load and save us. They're going to have to rely on each other, and that's going to start at training camp, because you're right, they haven't played together. So that's on me to structure how we play and practice, so that they start to understand each other better.
How did your season preparation change as all these moves continued to happen?
Yeah, I mean, you just take it as it comes. When things change, and so it's our responsibility to adapt and be flexible. I need to be flexible in my leadership, and again, focus on who's here and what we have, and that's Team 49. That's what we're focused on.
Wasn't it things that, like, since becoming the head coach, meaning like that was kind of the big day that it hadn't really sunk in yet. Like, since that day, have there been things that have surprised you, like whether it's responsibilities or nuances that kind of made this that you're like, oh yeah, this is on me.
I don't know if there's been any one thing. I think I'm definitely more aware now that every day is sort of a moving target. You have a plan in your head for the next day, and then as things unfold during a day, you have to be flexible and ready to adapt, which is sometimes a little bit different than being an assistant. Assistant coaches have roles and responsibilities that they have to do every day, and it's my job to be flexible and adapt to whatever comes that day.
You mentioned moving into that you hadn't really kind of decided on an offensive style of play that you wanted to get to, because you just didn't know what players you have. Now you know what players you have.
Yeah.
How do you want to play?
I'd like to play a little bit up tempo for sure with this group. And again, I would like for us to play a style where everybody's involved. I don't think that it would be productive for us to have one player dominate the ball with this group.
If there's one thing that you can pinpoint that you want to implement, either side of the court, that you want to get down this week. I know you can't get everything down this week. Is there something, or is it just kind of, you just kind of want to kind of take it as it comes?
This week, the biggest focus is going to be, defending as a group. I think everybody is going to have to up their effort, their physicality, their commitment to the defensive end of the floor for us to be good.
I have to ask, given what happened last week in Boston, that Emmanuel Joker well, what did you know when, and kind of what's been your perspective on how that's unfolded over there?
Yeah, I have a lot of love for the Celtics organization. There's a lot of people there that I care very deeply about, and they're in my thoughts. But I hope you guys can respect that I'm not going to comment on anything that's not about the Utah Jazz.
Quinn has pretty unique terminology for a lot of his stuff. This isn't a lot of media because he came from San Antonio, we kind of have some similar type of ways, Washington terms. Is it carryover there, or is it a big change for you guys?
There will be some carryover. Coaches, we sort of speak four languages sometimes. There's a lot of different terms for the same actions, and so that's been a huge part of our preparation for camp, is getting the staff on the same page as far as terminology. Some stuff will be familiar, some stuff will be new, some stuff is from places I've been, some stuff is from places that the assistants have a comfort level. So it's really a blending of all that, so that we're all saying the same thing to the players day one.
Is that easy to pick up, especially when you guys kick off season? Everyone's kind of new to it.
Yeah, I think that will probably make it a little bit easier for them to all get on the same page, because there's not as much residual terminology.
How do you weigh playing time for the veterans that have kind of earned that over the course of their careers versus younger guys who kind of need that chance to develop?
Yeah, I don't know yet. I think training camp's going to tell us a lot about our team. I think that's one of the reasons why I'm most excited about this training camp is because we have a lot of capable players, and we'll see how they perform.
Have you been able to lean on some of your assistant coaches for, being a new head coach with the new things that, as Sarah mentioned, you're maybe not used to doing? Have you been able to lean on guys like Alex Sampson, who's been a long time assistant coach, and others?
Yeah, I need our staff, and they're highly qualified. I'm really excited about the group that we put together here, and I'm leaning on them every day. They all have, again, a lot of experience, a lot of basketball knowledge, a lot of coaching knowledge, and I need them to help. So I'm leaning on them. I'm trying to delegate with them, and again, we have a system in place now, and looking forward to getting going tomorrow.
Kind of relatedly, what's Jeff Hornacek's role like?
Jeff's going to be a consultant for us. He's somebody that I'll speak to often and will help myself and the staff with everything.
Yeah, this has been, for the fan base, it's been emotional off season.
Right.
You know, they've had this wonderful year to get there for a long time down there to what the Jazz are, what the Jazz were. And so there are a lot of fans that at this point are kind of like, all right, what is that?
Mm-hmm.
What's your history?
This team is going to be representative of this organization, and it's going to be something that's reflective of the fan base. We will be tough. We will play with passion. It will be a team. That's my pitch.
Can you predict an identity of a roster before you can get them on the court yet?
I think there's nuances that you won't know until they're on the court together in terms of maybe who's the leader, different things that happen throughout a game. But I think we have enough guys on this team that we know enough about that I think we know what they're capable of.
You've got new guys versus a team that's been here before. Is that easier or better for you, or is that harder on you as a head coach when you've got guys who, less guys that done it before with this organization and more new faces?
Yeah, I don't really think of it as better or harder. I think it just is. We have a lot of new faces, and I'm new here, but it's our job to get to know each other. I think every team, has a different identity year to year. And so it's our job to all get on the same page in training camp and make this team the best it can be.
One more on that. A lot of talk about the Utah Jazz this offseason, headlines after headlines. How do you block out the headlines, or how do you just stay focused to continue to do what you guys are doing as a team versus hearing what everyone else is saying?
Yeah, blocking it out's actually the easiest part. I just don't have Twitter or Instagram or anything on my phone. And I think, it's our responsibility to focus on what we have right now. We're focused on Team 49. We're focused on this season. Everybody else's opinions don't really matter very much to us. The people that are in the room with us, the people that are on the court working with us every day, those are the opinions that we care about.
How do you measure success?
How do we measure success?
Yeah, wins or losses, or is it something else?
No, I think we need to maximize our team every day. I'm never going to put a ceiling on a group before we've played a game. So I think the first thing we need to do is just get to work, get to know this team, have them get to know each other better, and go from there.
Are there any individual players that stood out to you during this season?
Open gym was a lot of fun because there was such a great energy in the gym. It was really competitive. I think there wasn't one player that stood out above everybody else. I think everybody had their moments in camp. In an open gym, and that's what's going to make training camp so fun. Like I said, this is a really energetic group of guys, and they're ready to get going tomorrow.
What are the challenges specific to having a team this young?
I think there's the ability to sort of ride the emotional roller coaster of a season. Wins, losses, good games, bad games. I think the guys that are later in their career generally have a more of a long view understanding of an NBA season. And so it'll be our job to to help the younger players through those tough moments.
You don't have Twitter on your phone, but you have Twitter.
That's a good question. I guess, yeah, technically, I guess I still have Twitter, but I don't have Twitter on my phone.
Do you have any like steadfast line in the sand rules for the team, or identity wise for the group?
Yeah, I want a team that competes. I want a team that cares about winning. I understand that there are individual aspects to playing at this level, but I want people that are solely focused on winning basketball games for the Utah Jazz.
Have you had any moments where you kind of expected at some point, hey, if I'm a head coach, this is how I want it to work, and then you realize like, oh, there's a reason nobody does it that way. You can't do this. Have you had any of those moments yet?
Not yet. Not yet. I'm sure there will be some. But no, nothing yet where I've been blindsided.
What are the initial things that you look to work on as training camp gets underway?
The first thing is we need to get in great shape. If we're going to be a tough team, if we're going to be a really hard playing team, we have to get in really, really good shape. And that's going to be our main focus at training camp.